Well, guys, so we have the players seated down. Switch the names. We actually have Ben on our left and Kevin on our right.
Ben Wienburg, fresh off a finals appearance at the Invitational with the same deck.
Yep.
Almost
He's been. It's one of the things that the more I see this deck being played, I absolutely hate Ben's deck on paper.
Yeah.
But the more I see it play, the more it has a little bit of play to it. Like it's a slow to generate offense, but it gets there.
Yeah, there's a lot of interactions with.
All right. So not the start.
Oh, looks like Ben mulliganed.
I would imagine.
Yeah, Ben started at 5, and Kevin started with the best card in the matchup in play.
And it looks like Ben needed to draw running lands because he drew a Gavany Township off the top, but still didn't make a play. Oh.
Kevin with double Stromskirk Noble to Ben Wienburg's missed land drop on 3.
Yeah, so
we'll likely be heading to a second game pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Lightning Mauler pairs up with the Stromskirk Noble, crashes in for 5, Ben down to 14.
It's mostly to
get
the
nobles level up.
Yeah, the Lightning Mauler itself haste. That's the benefit pair. But the thing is, even if Ben was doing things, these nobles would just
take over.
None of Ben's cards actually interact with these nobles very effectively.
Yeah, he does have a Fiend Hunter, but even then, it only stops one. You need to stop both.
Right.
4. Yep, we're done. Don't even know what it was. Okay.
Kevin Brumley still had all these.
Yeah.
He might have wasted. Hopefully for Kevin, he did not waste his draw.
Yeah.
On Ben mulling to 5 and not playing spells. Kevin had one of his best draws. Probably didn't need it.
Yeah. Oh, onto the sideboard.
Lightning quick game 1.
Yeah.
So, what kind of cards do you like for Ben?
Well, I definitely want the 4th Huntmaster.
Absolutely.
And Oblivion Ring.
Okay.
To take out nobles.
Yeah.
Garrick Relentless maybe is another way to answer noble. Maybe Bonfire as well. But, I mean, we said this time and time again, what's he taking out?
Yeah. I like to think of Ben's deck as a 75 card main deck. He just has like a bunch of different cards. He doesn't really have sideboard cards per se. He does have some Nevermores, things like that, and some Rest in Pieces. But other than that, he does not have a lot of his cards are very main deckable cards. He has like a Garruk, 2 Bonfires, 2 Oblivion Rings, a Huntmaster. These are cards that Ben could very well play in his main deck.
Yeah.
He's just like, I want some cards in different matches.
This is not the mix that I want.
Right.
But we also have trivia.
Oh, we do have trivia.
Yeah.
What can you win?
You can win 6 months.
6 months.
Of Star City Games Premium.
No.
What we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys a question, and you guys will tweet the answer using the hashtag SCG Premium. It has to have that hashtag, otherwise we won't be able to find it. And one random person with the correct answer will win 6 free months of Star City Games Premium.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
You can read wonderful columnists like Ari Lex.
And, I don't know, some other people.
A couple other people,
some
whatever.
Pro Tour champions, I think. I don't know.
And some not important people, but read this game. So, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
So, going into this weekend, and the tournaments up to this weekend, the format was pretty blue heavy. There were a lot of, blue control-ish decks, and we didn't see any of those in top 8. In fact, there was only one deck with any blue cards. And specifically, what was the only blue instant in a main deck in top 8 of this tournament?
So there's one blue card. I already told you it was an instant. Yeah. So what?
There was one other blue card. There was an enchantment, but I want the instant. What blue instant?
You want the instant. Yeah, you're right. You want the only blue instant in the top 8 of this StarCityGames.com Open.
Yeah.
All right, so get your tweets in, and at the end of the semifinal round, we will give one of you lucky watchers 6 months of premium.
Yeah. Okay. Going back to the match at hand.
Yeah. We discussed Ben's sideboarding. Kevin's sideboarding has two Pillar Flame and 2 Mizium Mortars that will almost assuredly brought in, and then he has one copy of a huge card, Flames of the Firebrand.
Yeah.
That card doesn't often get 2 creatures, but this is the type of matchup where
at the least, it's kind of like a Searing Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if it ever gets 2 creatures. So he probably has all of those in.
Yeah. He's probably taking out some of his weaker attackers, such as like Lightning Mauler, I would imagine.
Maybe some of the high drops.
Yeah, maybe like Shred Freak.
Or Conscripts.
Or Zealous Conscripts.
So Ben leads on tapped Temple Garden and has a Clifftop Retreat, but he's facing down a Stromkirk Noble again.
So I believe Selesnya Charm is coming, so if Kevin has a Searing Spear.
Yep, Selesnya Charm.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Ben gets the interaction that he needs to. Oval. And Cackler Unleashed. I think I see a Stone Right in Kevin's hand, which would be a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, because they played the Stone Right to hedge. If you, assuming Ben kept to 7, I believe he did.
Yep.
And did not have a play on 1 or 2.
Yeah,
you kind of have to sniff out the Selesnya Charm. Getting your guy eaten is not something that's a positive play. So you don't want to not attack with a Stromkirk Noble, but if you play the Stone Knight in pair, at least you can trade for the Knight instead of just getting your Stromkirk Noble eaten, which is what happened. Right. And if to
be fair, that's a kind of negative tempo play on Kevin's part, because he passes with just a
Stone Right in play. But it's
still that Knight being out of the way.
He passes with one more creature in play than Ben does.
Correct.
So it's not terrible. It's also the best.
So the 2/2s get in there. The Ash Zealot that was just played, and the Cackler.
I
think if you're Ben, you just trade with the Cackler and take 2.
With the Borderland Ranger.
Yeah.
Because the Borderland Ranger is a human.
Right.
Can't block the Stromkirk Noble.
Kevin also taking 2 off the Vigilance Knight last turn.
So yeah, the Vigilance Knight will actually keep a clock on. Yep. Vigilance being worthwhile. So instead, Ben decides to double block the Ash Zealot.
Interesting.
No 3rd land from Kevin. Not the end of the world for his deck, especially if he can continue to play cheap creatures.
Yeah.
But it might be an issue once I believe Ben has a Huntmaster of the Fells in his hand. So it's at least that.
Because Huntmaster trumps everything that Kevin can do that doesn't cost 4. So looks like Kevin just has a bunch more 1 and 2 drops in hand though.
Ben taking them.
He might not have a Huntmaster. I don't think he'd be thinking this hard if he did.
There's a Garruk.
Garruk's gonna fight down the Stromkirk Noble, I assume.
I believe. It might make a wolf.
Okay.
Could see that.
Sure, that way if he has a burn spell, the Cackler doesn't kill the Garruk.
Alright, so
yep, makes a wolf.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty solid play. Getting the playing the Garruk when it will be at its best.
Yeah.
The longer you wait on this Planeswalker, the worse it gets. And if Ben still has a Huntmaster in his hand, I believe he does. The Huntmaster will be good whenever he has the opportunity to play it.
Also, getting the Garruk into play and then playing the Huntmaster next turn in that sequence lets him next turn fight with the Garruk and start going into the survival mode of just making more and more Huntmasters with the Garruk. Cackler trades for Borderland Ranger.
And so
Healing Crucible comes down as Kevin's 3rd land, and a Brimstone Volley takes down the Garruk. Stromkirk Noble still facing down a Wolf Token.
Yeah. All in all, a pretty excellent development for Ben's Humans deck.
Looks like he has a Huntmaster in hand, you're correct. Along with a Thalia, a Silverblade Paladin, and a Borderland Ranger?
That's what I believe so. Here's a 5th land.
Looks like Ben's just opting to put more creatures into play first. Before running his Huntmaster out there.
Okay.
Maybe trying to bait a burn spell.
Okay. I might have, if I were Ben, I might have wanted to play the Silverblade Paladin.
Instead of the Borderland Ranger?
Yeah.
I can see that. And pair it with the Wolf token.
Yeah, I don't think Silverblade Paladin is actually all that powerful in this matchup, given that it's a 3-mana 2/2 without a ton of impact.
Yeah.
Especially if it dies.
Well, I think that also doing that lets him start putting a clock on Kevin. He doesn't know what's in Kevin's hand. It could just be a ton of burn. And usually against red decks, you do have to put down some kind of clock. That said, Ben is at 18, so he's definitely way out of burn range.
Yeah, I don't think. Maybe Ben just didn't want to attack with his wolf this turn. If he attacks with a wolf, then
I'm not saying for this turn. I'm saying for the following turn.
Yeah.
Because then the paladin, which is the creature, like you can just attack with the paladin.
Yeah.
And like any sequence of plays isn't that big of a blow up because whatever, it's a paladin that dies. Ash Select comes in, likely trading for the Thalia.
Ben could also opt to double block because there's no card Kevin could have. Searing Spear doesn't do it because
you can't instant speed it, or you can't cast it with a Thalia for 2.
Correct.
Kevin follows up with a Rakdos Cackler. I guess Ben does have the additional wolf token in the Huntmaster. My thought was that the Thalia is more of a resource than or less of a resource, and the wolf token is actually serving a pretty big role.
Yeah, of keeping the Stormcroak Noble at bay.
So Kevin taking 4 on this attack down to 14, and it looks like it's time for the Huntmaster. Ben going up to 20.
So, I think Kevin is taking the bad end of a lot of these trades.
Yes.
He used a creature to trade with a wolf token made by Garruk, so he lost a creature and a Brimstone Volley.
Yes.
With it, so he got his Stormcroak Noble eaten by Selesnya Charm.
Yes. And then the Selesnya Charm Knight token later traded for another Ash Select.
Yeah.
So that was a complete 2-for-1 on 2 actually decent cards.
Yeah. So
Rakdos Cackler gets in there.
And here we're going to see Rakdos Cackler likely trade for...
Nope, Ben's just going to take it.
Okay.
Both the Wolf and the Huntmaster are too important.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Another Cackler comes down. Kevin adds some to the board. He can activate Healing Crucible and start trying to make a 4/4. But if Ben just passes here...
he gets to flip his Huntmaster, which is...
Yeah. Ben's likely debating whether the last card in Kevin's hand is a removal spell. He could also just play his Pilgrim and Silverblade. Could just play those and start going to town, start racing. But I think you want to pair the Silverblade with a flipped Huntmaster.
Yeah. Also, it's one of those things where I'm not sure it'll come to that point, but one thing that Ben can do is flip the Huntmaster and then use both of his spells to flip it back. I don't feel like Ben is advantaged enough in this game that I don't think he needs to do it, but I think that's a definite overkill line, perhaps. But maybe it's...
So Silverblade Paladin's coming down, probably pairing with the Borderland Ranger. And Ben is likely to attack. I'd attack with the Huntmaster and the Ranger.
Yeah, leave the Thalia back on defense because it can hold off both Cacklers. But Ben's
just
going to get aggressive, send with everybody.
It's 10 damage coming at Kevin.
So dropping Kevin to 4. So... no reason not to play this Pilgrim.
Kevin charging up the Crucible.
Yeah. Not the play he's looking for here. But once again, he just 2 of his cards was with one of Ben's a little too often in this game.
And Ben manages to claim victory after being solidly ahead the entire game.
Yeah.
I think he was definitely played for the closeout quick line against the red deck in case they start burning
you don't want to get like a
Thunder Maul
pyro,
or something ridiculous.
Yep.
I know Kevin doesn't have it. Ben knows Kevin doesn't have it, but
he didn't want to let Kevin set up like a Pyro Hurt Wolf Hellrider combination.
Just prevent him from drawing out of the hole that he's in there. So, game 3, Kevin's on the play. Will he have a turn 1 Noble again is the question.
Right. Noble on the play, clearly much better. Does not have to
worry about Selesnya Charm eating it. Trade, but...
Also, the 4-mana cards are much farther away, and a trigger of Stormcrook Noble further out of range.
Right. Looks like the other match is also in game 3.
Wow, so some very quick semifinal matches here at StarCityGames.com Open here in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, those green-white decks, they do take a while to play in a lot of matchups, but the Zombies matchup and the red matchup is pretty quick.
It's not one of them.
It's usually very decisive, where there's just an insurmountable advantage generated on turn 6 when you blink your Thragtusk. And it's like, there
play
are...
Thragtusk, Restoration Angel it, gain 10 life, make 5/3, a 3/3, and a 3/4.
Or you're just staring down double Aristocrat on turn 5 and you're just dead.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like the games take very long.
Right.
The deciding plays are all made long before the point where you have to start considering, am I going to loop Angel Serenities or...
Right. You don't have to go that far.
Right.
And that's the one thing about that's the reason why Angel Serenity is so good, is that it offers both the nigh unbeatable
long game
with looping two or more of them, but also in the short term, it clears most of an attack force.
Yeah, it can just be a
triple Fiend Hunter,
Plague Wind.
Yeah. 5/6 flying triple, kill 3 of your guys.
Kind of like an Elvish Norn.
Yeah. I mean that's actually very apt. You don't get the pump or whatever, but if your opponent doesn't have any creatures, you don't have to worry about that part too much.
Right.
So. Let's see. Kevin on play. I definitely like his chances in this match.
I agree. This was Kevin. We were talking about. Was Kevin the one last night who we were saying was a recent player, recently started?
Yeah.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, he's
letting people on fire, taking names.
Right. And the thing is, these red decks, they get the reputation for being very easy to play. But that's not always the case. I think Kevin could have made a subtle different line on turn 2.
Yeah, with the Stone Right.
With the Stone Right to pump his guy, and that would have been a much better play.
Yes.
But maybe not something that's blatantly obvious. It's not standing in front of you, and we're not gonna It's not like Kevin he threw that game or anything.
Right.
But he could have made a different line that was, I think, much better.
Looks like Kevin's keeping. Yeah, I mean the red decks, all your spells are very cheap. You have a lot of options every turn. It's very easy to win games where you just bowl them over, but at the same time, it's very easy to make small, incorrect decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin has a Mountain, no turn 1 play, no Stormcrook Noble.
Right.
Ben has an Avacyn's Pilgrim.
So I believe Kevin's going to want
to pillar
this. This is not a great development for Kevin's. If Kevin had a 2-drop...
Well, if Ben's leading on Cavernous Souls...
Well, it's a City of Breast for him. It casts all his cards, so leading on Cavern doesn't.
There was a Selesnya Charm that I'd seen in his hand.
Oh, okay.
So leading on Cavern makes it difficult to cast that the next turn. So Ben just has a tapped Temple Garden. Kevin with a Lightning Mauler, passing the turn.
Okay. So Lightning Mauler, the best card for it to pair with it is Pyro Heart Wolf.
Agree. Ben plays a Borderland Ranger off a Rootbound Craig that he recently played.
This will likely get a Plains.
Plains or Forest.
Yeah.
I think those are Does he have a mountain in his deck? He does.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe those are the only two options, but yeah, he.
I mean, Ben's mana.
I guess he has a
definitely
Root by
intact.
Craig, so yeah, he probably wants planes there. Kevin untaps and draws, and it looks like it's Hellrider time.
Mm-hmm.
Hellrider. Both of them go in. Ben drops to 18.
I would imagine Ben
Trades?
insta blocking the Lightning Mauler.
I agree.
Strategy against Hellrider, if you cannot remove it, is to kill as many.
Yeah. I actually feel like I wouldn't have attacked with the Lightning Mauler there.
Depending on the rest of Kevin's hand, that is true. If Kevin has a Pyre Heart Wolf, that is a very bad attack.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't, he could draw one. Could be, but if say like Kevin has like some Ash Zealots and some burn spells,
Yeah.
I don't mind the attack.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that attack is about the same as it would be on a later turn.
Okay.
So
You
there's no
might-
reason to cash in your one. Like it generated a damage and killed the Borderland Ranger.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna
not
get that
necessarily-
trade at some point.
Yeah, I mean it does clear the Borderland Ranger, so Ben can't necessarily double block the Hellrider.
Okay, so
Fiend Hunter on the Hellrider.
That's I mean that's one reason to attack with the
Sure.
Lightning Mauler.
Cash
And
in
the thing
there.
that because for multiple reasons now the Lightning Mauler can put an attack through
Yeah.
the Fiend Hunter,
I mean-
and it also doesn't generate a point. So I mean if Kevin doesn't have a burn spell, that attack makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if Kevin
it's-
doesn't have a burn spell, he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I mean, as we were talking about, there were just in that one attack step, there was a pretty big decision that you can make either way.
Yeah.
These red decks have a lot of options at every point.
Absolutely. And it may not seem like a huge option, but like when you're trying to compress the game.
There's the Searing Spear to take that
That's
Hellrider.
Kevin absolutely needs that.
Another Lightning Mauler pairing with the Hellrider. We get the same attack as last turn.
See, and this time you
Ben
definitely
to
want to
13.
attack.
Oh yes, because Champion of the
because-
Parish trading for that is an absolutely fine trade for you.
Yeah, right. You don't want the champion to grow and
Trade for the Hellrider.
trade for the Hellrider, or even outpace the Hellrider.
Yes.
So, I believe this is going to be an attack for.
Yep.
7.
Ben dropping to 13 with 5 damage coming in. He was at 15 the previous turn.
Okay, gotcha. So the 13 life reflects the 2 damage from Hellrider, and Ben is not blocked. He decides to trade his champion, preserve his life total.
Okay. Going down to 10.
Yeah, it falls to 10 from the Hellrider.
Draws a Garruk Relentless.
Would you just trade it for
I
mana?
don't know what's in
removal
his
spell?
hand, but very likely.
Yep, that's what.
Garruk
Ben's
Relentless
gonna do.
does its best brain spoil impression.
Yeah. A poor exchange for Ben.
Yeah.
They both spent 4 mana and a card.
But Kevin's card did a little bit more.
Kevin's
has a
card did
third
an
Lightning
extra
Mauler
damage,
here.
yeah. So not the both players are quite on quite a few lands.
Yeah, but
I
one
know
of Ben's is a township.
Right. Township only good with creatures in play, but Ben has a Selesnya Charm to make a 2/2 knight. I'll likely trade and probably leave both players basically empty-handed.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what Kevin drew for his turn, but I believe Ben has 2 lands.
yeah.
And yeah, he can't quite play the charm and block and activate his township.
Yeah, a little short.
Yeah, he's 1 mana short, so this trade can happen. I believe it's going to, unless Ben is giving the opportunity for
The trade does in fact happen.
yeah, maybe Kevin has
passes.
a Searing Spear
I could see
or a
that.
Brimstone Volley that he was considering trading.
Yeah. Well, via the volley, you could also launch it at Ben's face for the full 5.
5, yeah. But no,
Said
he's
he opts to save it for a Silverblade Paladin.
I like that. Getting him
Yeah.
to 5 is not terribly
Yeah.
relevant.
5 is still 2 burn spells away,
Yep.
given the fact that
Alright,
there's not a
so-
creature to die.
Good draw from Ben.
A creature?
A creature. Doesn't matter how bad it is.
Stromberg
Better
Noble
better
from
draw
Kevin.
from Kevin.
I don't. Yeah, we'll see who wins the race here.
Yeah. I feel like some additional cards are going to be needed.
On Ben's part, yes, for
on
sure.
yeah, on either side. I don't think this. I don't envision both players drawing like 4 straight lands.
Yes. So, Kevin down to 17.
If Kevin has a burn spell, it looks like a 7th land.
Yep.
To match Ben's 8 lands.
Yes.
Uh,
To be fair, Ben did Borderland Ranger.
mm-hmm.
Kevin
both
doing
players,
some race math,
yeah, both players very flooded. Oh, jeez.
Stonewright pairs up with the Noble.
So, how
And-
much do you want to play around Selesnya Charm here?
None. Don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's not like
yeah,
you can
it
race
can.
it.
I don't think
I'd rather
he can
give
beat
him
it.
one less turn.
Yeah,
Ben reveals all of his lands
wow, and the Stonewright
takes it
with
home.
these 7 lands.
The old fireball with buyback.
And some excited watchers in the background.